Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
I'm just going to turn that off. I was just playing you Chinese New Year music to welcome you in.
Oh, thank you. Gong Hai Fat Choi, everybody. Happy Chinese New Year.
I love it. Very exciting day for you today, right?
It is. This is the kickoff of, it's kind of great because in the Chinese culture, I feel like, and because I'm Chinese and I'm American, I just get 2 New Years, which gives us all a reason to party and eat food. So loving
I love
life.
it. We're going to come back and talk all about your heritage. But first of all, I want to give you your introduction. So here we go. A little bit of One Direction and what makes you beautiful. My guest today was named Wedding Icon by Modern Luxury Magazine and is the founder and lead artist of Bre Luxe Beauty. Her beauty has been seen on red carpets, magazine covers, and on runways with global wedding designers. Graduating magna cum laude from the University of Central California, Central Florida, with a degree in psychology and marketing, she put herself through modeling school and became a professional model and makeup artist for MAC Cosmetics. After working for corporate America for 14 years while building a business, she now operates in 4 states throughout the USA. Oh my God, am I dyslexic today? And I'm so thrilled to welcome this hardworking go-getter to the show. Please welcome the beautiful Tara Bre.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you. What an awesome introduction. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. I just think you're divine and your makeup is always flawless for all of our brides. And I just was so fascinated by your heritage, which I didn't realize that your mom is Chinese. Tell us about your family.
Yeah, so my mom's she's from China. So she was born and she ventured over to China when she was 4 years old to avoid the communist takeover, all of that. And then my dad is German and Italian.
Wow.
But my mom, it was just a great story hearing like how they ventured over, and it really does remind us of how good we have it growing up. And she was from a very, very tiny village, and literally my grandmother and her came over with nothing, they moved to Chicago to meet my grandfather. And, they traveled over here. And then after college, my mom is one of 7. So, but she's the oldest. So everybody else, the 6 of her sisters, and they're all girls. So they have no boys in their family. And in Chinese culture, they really do like to have the boys. So they just kept trying and trying. And they were after 7, they're like,
we're done.
Boys. But the girls, they did realize, the girls are very good to them. And my mom was the oldest, so she kind of had to set the example. And, pretty like a tiger mom, as you call it. And my dad and her met my mom was after college in those initial working years. And my dad was in the Navy, and he's German and Italian from St. Louis.
Oh, and what a great combination.
Yeah, so they met and they fell in love when they probably shouldn't have. Both of their parents were not necessarily agreeable with multicultural, because this is back in the 1970s. So, not as like prevalent as it is today. But my mom was the first in her family to venture out of the Asian culture. So she got the most heat, but most of my aunts actually did marry non-Asian, but yeah, so all of us are mixed. So I really, I feel like my cousins and we all kind of have that, different look where you're mixed. You're Chinese and you're something else.
You have such an exotic look,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you really do. And I didn't realize that it was Chinese was the mix of your culture. It's really fascinating to find that out about you. And a lot of people probably don't know that.
What did you think?
I thought maybe Hawaiian.
Yeah. So my whole life, that's what I got, is I was Hawaiian. Yeah. And then it was kind of like I grew up in the Wayne's World era too. So if you remember Tia Carrera.
Yes, you look like Tia.
I don't know if I really looked like her, but I think like the resemblance of like that exoticness. But then I was from Florida. I'm more white now, like skin toned, but I was always at the beach growing up. So I was always very tan. And I think that they were kind of just alluded the two together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and someone said Spanish. Yep, I would get that too, like Mexican or Spanish or something like that too. So
you have the dark hair as well, Yeah. Mexican, Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
How lovely. I'm just British.
Well, and you're beautiful. And whoever said you do your makeup so good, you're so right. You always have impeccable makeup, Charlie.
Oh, thank you. That's really lovely of you. Yeah, it takes a long time to learn how to do it, doesn't it?
It does.
And I love that because it's exciting because you are a model and you put yourself through modeling school. I think that was really, brave and advantageous of you to do that because, to say that I want to be a model and put yourself through school. How did your family take that?
Well, growing up, I told you about my parents. They're pretty hardcore. So, they're very about school, study, excel. They pushed me my whole life to make sure that I got good grades. I tried to stay out of trouble, even though I totally got into trouble, but I still had good grades. I was like, I can do both of this. I can have fun and be studious. But I was actually a tomboy growing up. My brothers, I have two older brothers who used to beat me up, do all those things. And I was like, I really wore boy clothes up until 9th grade. And then I had a set of girlfriends in high school that were like, we're going to do a makeover on you. And they put me in their skinny jeans and their tight shirts. And I remember feeling so uncomfortable. But I was very tall and very skinny. So I was like, and then I was like, okay, well, I guess I can get used to this. And then when I went to college, everybody just kept saying, you should model, you should model, you should model. But in my parents' world, artistry wasn't an option. Yeah. That's not something that you do. They want you to have, very found financial security. My dad he was in the Navy. He was a Naval SEAL. Then he was an electrical engineer, entrepreneur. So he's like, there's no way that you're going to go into the art world. So when I told him I was interested in it, they had no support for me. So they said, if you want to do it, then you could do it. And then I decided, okay. And I found, a modeling school in Orlando that, you could go on like a payment plan for. So I remember it was thousands of dollars, but I could pay that monthly. And then my parents did advocate for me to have jobs. They always wanted me to work, but they didn't want me to necessarily, pursue the arts as like a lifelong career. So they were like, okay, you go to college and you focus on college, but whatever you do in your meantime, you can do, but you have to do it yourself.
Wow. So, how great though that they did support you in the end. And you had a great career for a long time being a model. Did you travel the world? What was the most exciting thing that you got to do as a model?
Well, mostly, honestly, I didn't travel the world. I was really local. I traveled domestically here. Yeah. But I did a lot of in Florida, it's a lot of it's really a lot of bikini modeling, you guys. Let's just be legit. They're like, take off your clothes. How much skin can you show? Okay. So I was like this bikini model. I was, pretty heavy in the racing industry. So I was like, what you call in the drag racing world, but I was in magazines on covers there, just, typically no clothing. I was always in something super skimpy. I did calendars, things like that. And then that really didn't fit who I was, but it was what work was coming to me. So I was like, okay, well, I have to do it. But then after I got out of college and I had became a makeup artist during college is one of my 3 jobs that I had. And I worked at MAC, and I was like, well, and then I knew that I couldn't work at MAC forever because my parents didn't support this. But I went into corporate America, and then weddings really fell on my lap because in corporate America, you're working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And I felt like, wait, I could probably build like a little MAC myself, but I have to do weddings because I can't do anything during the week. So then I got the bright idea to move to Los Angeles, and picked all the different cities, but modeling was like the big influence. And I was like, well, in New York, I'm kind of bigger. I'm bigger chested. I'm bigger boned. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to really fit in New York because, I'm not necessarily the pure runway model. I do runway, but it's more like a lower level runway. It's not fashion week. I was too curvaceous, too meaty for like a runway. And then I'm only 5'9". And so a lot of those runway models are like 5'10", 11, 6 foot. So I was like, I don't know if I'll go there. So then I picked Los Angeles because I could do more print modeling and be clothed. So when I came out to Los Angeles, I modeled a lot. And then I did some Gucci ads. I had a great advertiser, but that was probably like the biggest thing that I did. And then
that's amazing. But you were signed by Elite as well. That's incredible. Yeah, so the Elite agency.
Yep. So I was an Elite model, and that was really who got me all my work and everything like that. And then I dabbled in acting too, which I realized I'm not very good at acting if I have to talk. So I was better just, doing whatever they told me to do with no speaking lines.
Yeah. I love the story about when you were doing a movie and they had to feed you your lines.
Yes, I didn't even know that was an option, but like I practiced my lines so much, but then as soon as all the cameras were on me, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. And then, you're the lead, so they can't just recast you right away. They need to get through the scene. They're on a production schedule. And they would feed me line by line, and they'd be like, action. And they would do they would do the take, and every time somebody, like, I don't know who that person was, but they were feeding me my line, and I would just do one sentence at a time, and they
I bet they loved you.
I'm like, I'm never getting hired ever again. This is the death to my career as an actor if I haven't had one.
And it's so funny because as a model, like, I'm sure you can move around freely and just be, so innocent.
I'm like, oh, and all I have to listen for is that click, or just assume that I have that click and I'm good to go. But no, forget the acting. I was like, it was just really intense. It was like I was used to the camera, and I was so used to looking down the barrel of the camera. And that really did bring a person out of me that I never knew was there, just staring down that barrel. And, but when there's multiple cameras and there's like so many people, modeling, it didn't matter about the people. But I don't know what it was with just like multiple cameras around me, and then it's like action. And I'm like,
you trust.
Yeah. So I really admire actors, and, and really like a modeling and an acting career is not as easy and glamorous as we all think that it is. Yeah. It's really a lot of work. And I remember after photo shoots, I mean, my body was always like hurting because it's, they have a rule as a model. If you're comfortable, that shot don't look good.
Really? I'd never heard that before. That's yeah. Well, if you look at like the kind of weird positions that they get in.
Yeah. So, like, if you feel comfortable, then that means that shot is not looking good. Yeah. That's not the one we're picking. So
I love that. Well, because you have to be so aware. Did you have to learn? I guess you learned it at modeling school, like the angle of your body and the best way it looks on camera and for your body specifically. Did they teach you all that?
Yes. Yeah. I sure did. And then lots of mirrors. That was what was the coolest thing about modeling school, is that it's a lot of mirrors. So that's your camera, looking, and then you have to do the runway walk. You have to be able to turn seamlessly. You got to, be able to go down the catwalk, but then obviously know your body, know your curves. And I'm different now because I've gotten older and I've learned, but I used to be a side model. Like, I used to look really good if I was posing from the side and you could see my body from the side because it was really flat. And then I would notice, like, some of my other friends that modeled, they were forward models. Like, they looked better if their body was forward. And then now that I'm older, I totally look better if my body's forward than I do sideways. I'm like, I gotta get rid of that Gucci mom bod.
No, I'm the gauze over the face model. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but bless you, you're a mom, you're married, you've got children, you have a family, you have one on the way, which is very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I feel like